follow me on Twitter at xraynyt to stay up to date with me whenever I'm not uploading. Thanks. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Rain, and today, things in the Apex community over on Twitter, it's kind of gone far south recently. And this time, it's actually not about solos. Recently, in the past 24 hours of me making this video, a tweet from one of the lead developers of Apex himself answered back about a Caustic Buff that we were supposed to be getting this week, or the Fight Night update, and boy, just prepare yourself. If you like these types of videos I've been putting out on my channel, like and comment your feedback and subscribe for more Apex Legends content, because if you don't, sources has confirmed that Caustic is going to get another buff where his gas ticks for 50 damage with a 2-second cooldown. So yeah, you know what to do. Right, so on to the topic. This whole controversy started when a Gibraltar main himself suggested a nerf towards Gibby and tagged the lead developer Daniel Klein, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Carrying on to the topic, one person stated that nobody asked for this Caustic buff and how strong he is in the right hands, with a follow-up tweet about making this change, which leads to his response saying it was super easy to do, taking 2 to 3 playtests and 10 minutes to verify, and stating the fact that Caustic is one of the weakest legends in the game. What? All I can say is that is a very strong and bold statement to make. With that, everybody in community respond, "Oh my goodness!" Yeah, nobody took that well at all, and I mean, oh my lord, nobody took that good at all. Before I go through all of that, I actually want to share my input as appropriately as I can, understanding his decisions and reasoning for the change and the response of the community. Honestly, this is only to a certain extent that I could agree with his statement. Now please, just listen to what I have to say. Caustic is only weak in some areas, such as his movement, his hitbox, because he is a big character. Even with the fortified, he's not that tanky compared to Gibby because he doesn't have the shields to protect himself. We know by now the death that they collect to help make the decisions with buffs and nerfs, and yes, I could also agree only to an extent. Caustic is weak in stats like pick rate, win rate, 1v1 encounter rate, you know, those kind of stuffs. What I don't agree fully is because every single Caustic out there plays a very different skill level, and that alone can screw up with the statistics really badly. The Caustics I encounter most of the time are about average to below average players who only bunk up in buildings and camp all game, only relying on the traps to help him win their 1v1s, but most of the time they fail miserably. Give someone with a lot of experience to learn and play the character, and Caustic is honestly one of the most scariest legends to fight against. The sad part about that is there is only a small handful of them. Majority of the stats they often pick up are contributed from the bad players, which are going to lead to some bad balanced decisions. There's only so much I could agree with, but honestly, this ain't it, chief, which leads to the community take on which is about 99% negative response. You can see with some of these replies here, and this is just a small handful of them that I decided to pick out. The few that really stand out to me are some saying because of a change like this, people feel like the developers are very disconnected with the community, some losing their hopes in the game using only statistics to make their balanced decisions, or just finding it very hard to stay positive with the changes like this. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel a little bit of those things that they're feeling. Nothing is wrong with giving feedback to someone. Nothing is wrong with giving feedback to something you disagree on. That is totally fine. What draws the line is how some people respond, making comments like that you should be fired, the developers are brain dead and don't know what they're doing, and making very hurtful and threatening comments. You see, those things are not going to help the situation at all, like literally. We all like to see changes made for the better, and making comments like this isn't going to get anything done at all. You need to learn how to be able to build constructive criticism, you know. You gotta be very constructive what you say. Lashing out with very hateful statements is not just it's just not gonna work. With that being said, yes, the response was bad, but understand why the community was at full rage. Majority of us believe that Caustic is in a good already and has become even more annoying to fight with the change he had at the start of season 7. Also, how how they go about with their decisions on making changes is also upsetting to see, because this isn't factored in the many players that are good in Apex. It favors the more below average to new players, taking away that skill gap Apex have. This is why so many of the people are unhappy, because of what they use to make the decisions to make changes, which is kind of bad. It also is kind of questionable when you factor in other legends that are more deserving of buffs, like Mirage, Rampart, or even Watson, who lost her place in the meta, you know? Like, literally, when was the last time you ever fought a Watson in the season? I could count all of them on my one hand, literally on my one hand. Legends like these are failing in so many aspects that we know that they are looking into the same stats that I have mentioned. There are other legends that are failing in pretty much all those stats, and yet they are not looking into those things. Even with weapons like the Hemlock that has stayed dominant for 2 seasons straight and has been a very strong gun, winning many fights for so long, but yet only receiving minor nerfs that barely affect the gun at all. You can see why some feel the developers are feeling disconnected from us. You can literally see why. Honestly, things should be put into place for a more healthy approach, and to share feedback with the developers for us to better listen and understand, instead of just only relying on data to make these decisions. Something like, you know, having many community managers to handle any feedback. But I don't know, what do you guys think about what should be done to have a better communication between us and the devs? Leave your comments below. Like if you enjoy and you agree with the approach and the feedback I had on this topic. I hope you guys are doing great, keeping it 100, and I will see all of you guys in the next one. Later.